So let's continue. Yeah, so just a second. So friends, whenever we do commits on a Git project, whenever we do commits on a Git project, what happens? Every commit is preserved on a branch. Master branch with by default, మనం చేసే ప్రతి commit కూడా అక్కడ preserve అవుతుంది. Like let's say C1 commit, some C2 commit, C3 commit, and so on. Every commit you do on a project, everything is added on the master. And now what happens is, along with the master branch, we have something called a shadow, which we name it as a reflog. Git lo meer chese prati activity ni track down chese inkokati undandi, that is called as a git reflog. It's kind of similar to our browser history. Website lo manam browser lo manam edaina website chuste some history gets added right in the browser history. Likewise, whatever the activities you do on a project, everything is maintained. A copy of it is maintained on something called a git reflog. Git reflog అని ఉంటుంది. దానిపైన మనం చేసే ప్రతి యాక్టివిటీ కూడా రిజిస్టర్ అయి ఉంటుంది. సో C1 కమిట్ చేశారా, ఎస్, git reflog preserves a copy of it. C2 commit చేశారనుకోండి, C2 is preserved, C3 is preserved. ఇట్లా ప్రతిదీ, you whatever the activities you do, everything is maintained by git reflog here. Okay, so now మీరు ప్రాజెక్ట్ కనుక let's say you reset your project, C1 C2 C3 commits చేశాక on the master head is pointing to C3, and now what happened, you reset the project to C1. ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ పైన ఈ C2 C3 అనేవి డిలీట్ అయిపోతున్నాయి, but your reflog still holds them. Okay, your reflog still holds them. అంటే ఇక్కడ మరలా మీకు reflog ఏం చేస్తుందంటే, okay my friend, you are at C1 level, అంటే మీరు చేసే ప్రతి యాక్టివిటీని అది what say it preserves as a copy. సో మనం ఇప్పుడు C1 దగ్గర ఉన్నాం కాబట్టి C1 to 3 are displayed as well as C1. ఇప్పుడు మన ప్రాజెక్ట్ స్టేటస్ C1 ఉంది కాబట్టి a fourth commit you find here as C1 in reflog. సో నేను ఏంటంటే, when if I deleted my commits, is it possible to retrieve my commits back? అంటే if we go run a git reflog command, git reflog ఏం చేస్తుందంటే, it shows you a timeline of activities that you did in your project. మీరు చేసిన ప్రతి యాక్టివిటీని అది చూపిస్తుంది అనమాట git reflog పైన. Now what if I jump to this C3 commit, or if I fetch only that commit ID, reflog కి వెళ్ళి ఆ C3 commit ID తెచ్చుకోండి. If I do git checkout, do I have that C3 related data or not? ఉంటుందా? reflog ఉంది కాబట్టి డేటా ఉంటుంది, but now my requirement is I want to make my master branch again back to normal. నా మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ ని మరలా C1 C2 C3 ఇంతకు ముందు హార్డ్ రీసెట్ చేసి C2 C3 లూజ్ అయిపోయా, again I want to get them back. So that is what how to do is what we should understand now. సో ఈ C3 commit ID కి వెళ్తారు git reflog కి. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే, you have to do some change over there. ఆ C3 commit లో మీరు ఒక చేంజ్, ఏదో ఒకటి ఒక చిన్న చేంజ్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే, git what say you are asked to do a commit. అయితే మీరు అప్పుడు కమిట్ ఎక్కడ చేయాలంటే, నాట్ ఆన్ ద సేమ్ reflog బ్రాంచ్, అక్కడ చేయకూడదు. git reflog లో కాకుండా మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే, you have to create a new branch. You have to create a separate branch. Let's say some what say rescue branch అని క్రియేట్ చేద్దాం. మీరు ఇక్కడ ఈ C3 commit కి వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత you do a change and you do a commit of that change on a new branch. ఒక కొత్త బ్రాంచ్ పైన మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే, commit యొక్క change ని with a new commit you do, meaning let's say some C4 commit, right? Some C4 commit ఏదో చేస్తారు మీరు ఇక్కడ. అయితే మనకి బ్రాంచింగ్ లో ఒక రూల్ ఉంది. Wherever you create a branch, what happens? All the prior commits of it are already available, right? So ఇప్పుడు ఈ reflog లో మీరు C3 దగ్గర కమిట్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, C4 కమిట్ చేశారు రెస్క్యూ పైన, మీనింగ్ all the prior commits of reflog C1 C2 C3 అనేవి ఆల్రెడీ ఆ రెస్క్యూ బ్రాంచ్ కి యాడ్ అయిపోతున్నాయి, రైట్? ఆ రెస్క్యూ బ్రాంచ్ కి అవి కూడా యాడ్ అయిపోతున్నాయి. సో a rescue branch added with. Then what you do, you already know the concept of merging. Branch ni merge cheyadam manaku already telusu concept. Then what you do, you just bring that rescue branch and merge it with master. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, C1 commit already there. Now C2 gets added from rescue, right? C2 gets added from rescue. Likewise, C3 and C4 too. C1 already on this, C2 was on this, C3, likewise C4. Meaning all the commits, whatever you lost, you're again bringing them back onto the master. Okay. So ఇది ఒక hands on చేద్దాం అది, so that you'll get an overview. Okay. So let's continue. So new folder, and yeah, let's give a name. Let's say reflog. Reflog and a name channel, and I'll create a new, let's say, or open git bash here. Let's open git bash and vim editor and devops.txt, right? And let's add some data here, or let's go with the something that let's say, let's create a file vim perfumes.txt. Okay, so చెప్పండి ఏమన్నా perfume names ఉన్నాయా? Okay, fog at yeah. Next, axe. Next, Park Avenue. Okay, let's do these three as a commit. Yeah, sure. Connection. Yeah, in the second commit, we'll add some more perfumes. So yeah, now is it fine, right? So save and quit, and let's do a very first commit. Git add perfumes.txt. Oh, sorry. Git init kada first. Initialize it git functionality. Git add perfumes.txt. Git commit -m. Let's say first commit on perfumes on them. Okay, done. First commit done. Next, again let's open perfumes.txt and do a second commit. Now tell me, tire. Axe already opened and the KS at next. Mont Blanc, right? Mont Blanc something. So save and quit, and git commit -am. Let's call this commit as second commit on perfumes. Okay, second commit. Now let's again vim perfumes.txt, add some more data. Some more data, like let's add Wildstone. Okay.
Man company.
Sorry.
Man company.
Okay. You understand?
Man company.
Man company. Okay. Okay. And I think layers something. Layers short something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Fine. So I'm doing a commit. Git commit -am. Let's call this commit as third commit on perfumes. So why I took this perfumes example, I'll explain in a minute. Okay. So this was the today I got a bad experience. I'll explain sometime. So git log -, one line. We got 3 commits. First commit, second commit, third commit. Now what I do is I'll do a hard reset to the very first commit. Okay, so git reset -hard 459EEB8 అంటే మొత్తం సెకండ్ కమిట్ లో ఉన్న డేటా, థర్డ్ కమిట్ లో ఉన్న డేటా, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ గాట్ లాస్ట్, రైట్? హార్డ్ రీసెట్ అంటే మనకు తెలిసింది. cat perfumes.txt, only 3 perfumes ఉన్నాయి అంతే, రైట్? అండ్ git log -, one line, see, everything got lost. So this is where the data lose అయిపోయినప్పుడు what you can do is you run a command git reflog. Git reflog అనే కమాండ్ రాయగానే ఏమవుతుందంటే, ఇట్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ ఎ షాడో దట్ ఫాలోస్ us. మీరు గిట్ రిపాజిటరీలో చేసే ప్రతి మూమెంట్ ని అది క్యాప్చర్ చేస్తుంది, గిట్ reflog అనేది. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఆల్రెడీ ఫస్ట్ కమిట్ కనిపిస్తుంది మనకి, సెకండ్ కమిట్ కనిపిస్తుంది, థర్డ్ కమిట్ కనిపిస్తుంది. అండ్ లేటర్ వాట్ యూ డిడ్, యూ అగైన్ రోల్డ్ బ్యాక్ టు ద వెరీ ఫస్ట్ కమిట్. అందుకని ఇక్కడ పైన టైమ్ లైన్ ఆఫ్ యాక్టివిటీస్ మీరు చేసే ప్రతిదీ కూడా reflog ప్రిజర్వ్ చేసి పెట్టుకోండి. వెరాజ్ యువర్ మాస్టర్ బ్రాంచ్ లో మనకి సెకండ్ థర్డ్ కమిట్స్ లేవు, బికాస్ వి ఆల్రెడీ డిలీటెడ్ దెమ్. reflog ఏం చేస్తుందంటే, లైక్ ఐ సెడ్, వాట్స్ ఏ బ్రౌజర్ హిస్టరీ. It's preserving all the websites which you are visiting, something like that. So ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే let's try to find, if I switch to this commit id, third commit id అయితే ఉంది, I'm just assuming if I go there నాకు third commit data ఉంటుందా ఉండదు. I'm not really sure of, but I just want to jump there. So git checkout and చెప్పి beb 0c88. Okay, enter, and now what happened? We're getting some message. You are in detached head state. You can look around, make experimental changes, blah blah blah, and so on. And finally, head is now at the third commit. The third commit, remember the master file label, something called a reflog that preserved this. Now I'm at third commit level, and now if I say cat perfumes.txt, చూడండి ఫస్ట్ కమిట్ చేసిన డేటా, సెకండ్ కమిట్, థర్డ్ కమిట్, మన డేటా మొత్తం మనకి కనిపిస్తుంది, రైట్? నౌ ఆల్ we got to do is bring those commits back onto the master. That's the only thing we are left with, that right? Bring back all the commits back onto the master. So how we bring forth all the commits back onto the master? అయితే ఇక్కడ ఒక టెక్నిక్ ఉందండి. ఆ టెక్నిక్ మనం ఫాలో అయితే కానీ మనకి కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థం కాదు. రెఫ్లాగ్ కదా, రెఫ్లాగ్ లో ఉన్న థర్డ్ కమిట్ పైన మనం ఉన్నాం. We went to this third commit at reflog level. On my master, nothing available. Master branch is clean with only one commit, first commit. Again, we're already reset చేసేసారు. Now reflog preserved everything. Second commit on the reflog lo, first commit on the, a timeline of all the activities a reflog is preserving, right? So first commit, next second commit. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఈ reflog పైన third commit దగ్గర ఉన్నారు. And now when you are switching to some commit with git checkout, మనకు ఒక పెద్ద మెసేజ్ వస్తుంది, elongated message. You are in detached head state. You can make experimental changes, turn around, whatever you want to do. And ఏదో మెసేజ్ వస్తుంది. ఆ మెసేజ్ మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే, whatever let's say I went to this commit status, whatever the changes I do there, ఎన్ని చేంజెస్ చేసినా, లేకపోతే అక్కడ మోర్ డేటా యాడ్ చేసినా, డేటా రిమూవ్ చేసినా, ఆర్ ఇఫ్ ఐ డూ వన్ మోర్ న్యూ కమిట్ దేర్, what happens is once I switch out of that commit id, మళ్ళీ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అంతా బ్యాక్ టు నార్మల్ అయిపోతుంది. మీరు అక్కడ ఎన్ని చేంజెస్ చేసినా ఆ కమిట్ నుండి మీరు ఎస్కేప్ అయ్యి మళ్ళీ వెళ్తే యువర్ ఫైల్ అగైన్ యూ ఫైండ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ నార్మల్ స్టేటస్ ఓన్లీ. సో చూడండి ఇక్కడ vim perfumes.txt, ఆ కమిట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని మోడిఫై చేస్తుంది. I'm adding some data here, some nonsense here, escape :wq, okay, and I do a commit here. Yeah, Mallikarjun andi. Yeah, friends, online candidates just wanted to know who is Mallikarjun here.
Hello.
Hi Mallikarjun.
Hi sir.
You are online or you are attending online or offline every day?
Online daily.
Mallikarjun, may I know who is the POC for you?
Jairam.
Sorry?
Jairam.
Okay. After the class, please stay. I'll take your contact number. Okay?
Okay, friends, fine. Let's continue. So over here, I did some changes to this commit. And if I say git status, git says the file is modified. A file already modify chesam, and git is saying do a commit. So no changes added to commit. So just go ahead, do a commit. Now if I do a commit, git commit -am new commit, మనకి ఏంటంటే ఏదో కమిట్ అయినట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది. But again, if I exit from here, like meaning let's say git checkout master branch which is now if I go back again, git reflog, what happens is you don't find that commit id anymore. చూడండి మీకు commit id ఎక్కడైనా కనిపిస్తుందా? Like what was that? Earlier I did a commit, right? 886 something, this one. ఈ commit id మీకు ఎక్కడైనా కనిపిస్తుందా reflog లో? This one, new commit. But if I try to, let's say, go to this commit id, git checkout 886 for D3F. What happened? We went to that commit ID, and if I say cat and perfumes.txt, it seems to be like the commit is saved. What happens is, if I, let's say, git reflog again, git reflog, when we commit the over here, right, where after BEB, over here we did that commit. Now, if I switch to that commit ID, git check out BEB 0C88. We came out and you don't find that data anymore. Cat and perfumes.txt choosing, you have only that data. Meaning it's a temporary commit, but that doesn't preserve any of your changes. Right? So now, we have to, if we want to maintain all the commits, bring the commits back onto the master, we file edit cheyali vim perfumes.txt edit cheyali. Do some change, like let's go add one more perfume here, which is let's say legend. Okay, Yardley. Some change I did. Now git asks you to do a commit. So you don't get status and git commit change, but don't do a commit directly here, like we did before. We have to create a branch. So git checkout, okay, and into that rescue branch, do this commit. Git commit -am, let's say new commit. Let's try to understand here. Now, what happens is you created a branch and you modified this third commit here. Reflog no third commit modify jason. And that commit or that change you are doing as a commit on the rescue branch. Rescue branch by no commit chester, like let's say new commit. Obviously, whenever you're pushing the change over here as a new commit, you created a branch. So what happens? Obviously, the branch inherits all the prior commits of its parent. Meaning, parent branch integrated rescue key, reflog. So all the commits, first commit, second commit, third commit, and already added. In addition to that, you got a new commit. Now we did that already. So rescue branch already commit. Now if I go git log dash one line, I find 4 commits. See, 4 commits from the parent rescue. We got already available here. First commit on perfume, second, third, and new commit. Now all you do is jump back to the master. Git checkout master. Master gochi. Master gochi మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? Git merge and rescue. Git merge rescue. Git merge rescue anangane, whatever the commits you have here on the rescue branch, everything gets added back again onto the master. A prati commit kuda, they're getting them back onto the master. So, yeah, friends. So now what happened here? Let's say git log dash one line. We got all the commits back onto the master. So just in case if you are losing any commit, developer and let's say they lost their data. So hard reset chaser anangane, you lost everything and I'll discourage them. We got to identify solutions where we can get retrieve their data back. Okay, so reflog and a concept using which what we can do, even a hard reset happen, we can get the data back onto their project. Okay, so questions here, online candidates, any questions? Are we clear? Sati?
Yeah.
CK, no. Sorry. Hyphen found now, I am not sure of. I mean, shoulder than the exam. I'll look into it. So, yeah, friends, what happened here? Git log dash one line. We got everything. First, second, third, and fourth commits back onto the. True. Well, git. Let me just show you that. First, yeah, I'll show you. Just a second. So let's say vim. Let's go with See friends, on the master, we have 4 commits, right? Git log dash dash one line. So 4 commits on the master branch by now. Now, what I do is we have to understand what that message actually means. So first we got a branch, and over here I got 1, 2, 3, 4 commits. Now on a temporary basis, I'll switch to 4th commit. C1, let's say C2 and C3, and here we got C4, right? C4. Now what I do is, as we know, it always points to the latest commit. Now on a temporary basis, and in hard reset చేయట్లేదు soft to mix it ఏది కాదు, just on a temporary basis I'm switching back to C2. How? With what command? Git check out. Very good. Git check out BA1EB04. So now just observe, we get a huge message with the elongated message of, just have a look. You are in detached head state. You can look around, make experimental changes and commit them. You can discard any commits you make in the state without impacting any branches by switching back to a branch. Okay. What did you understand out of this? So in layman terms, what is it saying? You can do whatever you want to do on this commit. At this commit level, whatever you want to do, want to delete everything, go delete. Want to add more data, go add. Whatever changes you want to do, just go ahead do. Even you can do a commit. But once you step out of that commit, again the project gets back to its original state. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ commit దగ్గర మీ data ఎట్లయితే ఉందో, same to that original state, your data is retained back. If you are really concerned about this change, then see down below, what is it saying? If you really want to change, preserve that change, create a new branch and push that commit to that new branch. Okay, so temporary basis పైన మీరు ఏదో ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేయడానికి ఇక్కడికి వస్తే, yes, go ahead. Let's say vim, open that file, let's say perfumes.txt, right? Add some data, whatever you want to, or let's delete the data. I'm deleting everything, all the data. And now if I say git status, git says the file is modified. మొత్తం data delete చేస్తాను. And I'll preserve it with a new commit. Let's say git commit -am new commit. Let's say data deleted. Data, everything got lost, right? So now if I switch back to the master, if master question git checkout master. Now there is a new commit happened, right? 24EF83D. Let's find whether this commit is available on the master or not. Okay, I'm switching back to the master and I say git log -- one line. What happened? You have those same exact 4 commits, first, second, third, fourth. Marla ee commit ID ki vellarఅనుకోండి, you still find, let's say git checkout and BA1EB04. Marla commit status వెళ్ళి మీరు ఫైల్ రీడ్ చేస్తే, you still have the same data. Even I deleted that, you still have that same data, because it's clearly evident that what is it saying? You are in a detached head state. You can look around, make experimental changes. You can experiment with the data, but nothing happens. Nothing gets impacted when you make changes or do commits over there. లేదు మీకు ఆ చేంజ్ కావాలి అనుకుంటే, make a branch, do a branch and push that change to that new branch. Commit అనేది వేరే బ్రాంచ్ పైన చేసుకోవచ్చు. That is it. Now clear? Now making sense? Online candidates, any questions here? What happened, friends? Everyone's quiet today.
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, friends. So let me explain. Why I took this perfumes example. I'll just give a quick example. What happened? I was after my night shift's over today. I was sleeping, and one of my friends visited me, and అది చెప్పాను కదా, అన్అవాయిడబుల్ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉంటారు మనకి. వాడితో వెళ్ళకపోతే హర్ట్ అయిపోతాడు, అలా అని వెళ్తే మనకి ఇంపాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో వి వెంట్ అవుట్ ఫర్ లంచ్. వాడు లంచ్ కి కాకుండా ఫస్ట్, అరే ప్రశాంత్, లెట్స్ గో పర్చేస్ సమ్ పర్ఫ్యూమ్స్ అన్నాడు. మేబీ గిఫ్టింగ్ సమ్వన్ ఎవరి కోసం. వి వెంట్ టు అ పర్ఫ్యూమ్ షాప్ అండ్ హీ స్టార్టెడ్ స్ప్రేయింగ్ ఆన్ మీ బికాస్ ఐ వోర్ అ ఫుల్ హ్యాండ్ షర్ట్. సో ఇక్కడ పర్ఫ్యూమ్, ఇక్కడ పర్ఫ్యూమ్ ఇట్లా స్ప్రే చేసుకుంటూ వచ్చింది. I was totally perfume smells and I was unable to eat food. Vomiting. అట్లా అయిపోయింది అనమాట. సో ఇరిటేషన్ లైక్ స్ట్రాంగ్ స్మెల్స్ అన్ని కలిసి వస్తుంటే ఐ వాస్ టోటలీ ఫ్రస్ట్రేటెడ్, ఇరిటేటెడ్ అండ్ కేమ్ బ్యాక్. సో దట్ ఈస్ వేర్ ఐ టుక్ దిస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ టుడే, రైట్? సో ఉంటారండి కొంతమంది ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉంటారు వేర్ వీ కెనాట్ అవాయిడ్ దెమ్, లైక్ వైస్ వీ గెట్ ఎఫెక్టెడ్, రైట్? సో yeah friends, so let's now explore one more example. Git reflog clear ayindante we will talk about a concept called git stashing concept. Stash example. What is git stash? Before we dive into git stash, I want a quick example on stack and queue. You're a computer science students unnara?
Yes,
What is
sir.
a stack and what is a stack and what is a queue? ఇది జనరల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కూడా చెప్పొచ్చులేండి ఎవరైనా సరే.
First in, first out, last in, first out.
So stack is first in, first out or last in, first out?
Is if first in, first out. So yeah, our offline candidates are getting curious on you అండి, ఎవరైతే ఆన్సర్ చెప్పారో వారి మీద. Stack అంటే last in, first out అట, and queue is first in, first out. Queue is first in, first out, right? If you go to a supermarket and we go to clear off the billing queue, if you are the first person, you get cleared off with your bill and you exit the supermarket. First in, first out. Stack వచ్చేసరికి last in, first out. What is example of a stack? Stack examples are a pile of books. Yeah, లైబ్రరీలో బుక్స్ అరేంజ్ చేస్తాం కదా సార్.
Yeah, or say let's take another example. ఇదివరకు మనకి now we are pretty much with pen drives and hard disks, external hard disks. ఇంతకు ముందు a decade ago or 2 decades ago CD drives కదా, ఇదివరకు ఒక స్టాక్ ఉండేది ఇట్లా. Every CD we used to place inside a stack of CDs. And first మనం పెట్టిన CD, it falls at the bottom, and whatever the CD we add at the top, last enter చేసే CD ఏమో పైన. If we want to remove the first one which entered the stack first, what should we do? First add చేసిన అన్ని రిమూవ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తే కానీ లాస్ట్ బయటికి రాదు, right? So that is a quick example of stack. So I'm not confused. మనం మాట్లాడుకుంటున్న కాన్సెప్ట్ ఇక్కడ it's a stash, not stack. Git stash. Then why am I talking about this example stack and queue? Okay, there is an order in stashing. That stashing order is nothing but very close to a stack. Stash అనేది ఒక order of commits ని మనకి, not order of commits, a set of data whatever we stash that gets arranged like a stack. అందుకని stack example మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. What is stash, by the way? Let's understand that. Say friends, I am working on some project. Okay, I'm a developer. I'm working on some project, loans and a project pine work chest. And I'm doing all sort of works related to loans on only one branch, master branch with the work chest. First, the prioritized feature assigned to me is gold loans. Right, so I started doing things. I created some project working here, doing some commits related to gold loans. And the project is still ongoing. Work complete అయిపోలే. I'm still working on it. The concept is still going on. Gold loans, I'm still working on it. At this very moment, I got an update from my leads saying, Prashant, just focus on personal loans. Personal loans pine work chip, wherein this gold loans functionality is still in progress. And maybe a file in the modified status loan, whether maybe it is in staging area, whatever. It's still, the work is still ongoing. Now, if I start working on personal loans, what happens when I say git status? What happens? A file అయితే మనం gold loans మీద వర్క్ చేస్తాము, we get that file displayed, like the file is in modified status. అట్లాగే ఇప్పుడు మనం వర్క్ చేస్తున్న ఫైల్ కూడా we get information about this ongoing project too. right? So now my requirement is I don't want to get annoyed with gold loans. Ongoing project సంబంధించిన or ongoing work సంబంధించిన updates నాకు రాకూడదు. I want to totally focus on personal loans. So ఇప్పుడు మీరు gold loans అనే ఫైల్ ని if we add to what say .gitignore, do you think it works? .gitignore యాడ్ చేస్తే హైడ్ అవుతుందా? అదే మర్చిపోతున్నారు మొత్తం అన్ని. See friends, what's happening? I did say .gitignore only on .gitignore hides the data which is only untracked, right? నేను ఒక index.html ఫైల్ ని ఎడిట్ చేసి .gitignore కి యాడ్ చేసినప్పుడు what's happening? The file is still visible to me. So now over here gold loans అనే ఫైల్ మీరు వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఆల్రెడీ కమిట్ చేశారు, మోడిఫై చేశారు, మళ్ళీ కమిట్ చేశారు, మోడిఫై చేశారు, ఇట్స్ స్టిల్ ఆన్ గోయింగ్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు గిట్ ఇగ్నోర్ కి యాడ్ చేసినా కూడా నో యూస్, బికాస్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఇన్ అన్ట్రాక్డ్ స్టేటస్, ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ కమిటెడ్ అండ్ మోడిఫైడ్. సో కమిటెడ్ అండ్ మోడిఫైడ్ వర్క్ మీకు హైడ్ అవ్వాలి అని, you want to hide that work and totally focus on personal loans. In that case, what you do, you go with something called a stash. Okay, you do something called a stash. Then what happens? The current ongoing work is hidden and you are provided access only to the ongoing work. If you have personal loans work chestaro, Git provides you information only on that personal loans thing. Marla personal loans pine commits chestnaru and still working in progress. You're still working on that project. And now what happened? You're asked to work on education loans. Marla ఏం చేస్తారు అంటే you do a stash. You again do a stash on this ongoing project or ongoing work. The ongoing work ఏంటంటే personal loans అండి. Personal loans ఏం చేస్తున్నారంటే you're stashing it. Now stashes, how do they get arranged? Means first మీరు stash చేసింది gold loans, ఆ పైన మీరు stash చేసింది personal loans. అంటే ఇప్పుడు stack order గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. How a stack, how things get added to a stack, likewise the personal loans is also stashed. So now these two pending works are hidden from your timeline. And when you say git status, it gives you a complete clarity. You can go ahead with the new functionality. If you stash చేసాక మీరు git status అంటే git ఏమంటుందంటే everything seems fine my friend, go ahead, everything is fine, go ahead with your new work. And now you started doing things, new work, మళ్ళీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ లోన్స్ కి సంబంధించి కమిట్స్ చేస్తున్నారు and you're still working on it. Now again you are assigned with another prioritized work. Okay, what is this loans? Corporate loans, Vijay Mallya loans and but right, corporate loans. Now I want to hide myself from the existing ongoing work, education loans. So what I do, again I do a stash, meaning this current ongoing work is also hidden. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ లోన్స్ అనేది ఎక్కడ యాడ్ అవుతుంది? On top of personal loans, stack order. On top of what's the personal loans, you find education loans, right? And now you're good to focus only on corporate loans. Do commits, complete your work. If you wish to, you can complete. Or if you are assigned with another work, stash it and go ahead. Let's say I completed my corporate loans. The functionality anta complete chestanu. And I want to work on my pending works. Because these three we placed in pending status, right? Stash and it's a status where you preserve all the pending works. So pending works manki itla oka stack undi. A stack with three pending works: education loans, personal loans, and gold loans. Now you want to resume your work, you got to write a command which is git stash pop. ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే we write a command. Since I want to work on my pending works, resume working on my pending works, I say git stash pop. Git stash pop అన్నప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే like a stack, మనకి stacking order తెలుస్తుంది కదా, whatever is added at the top that gets out first, only for last and first out. So git stash pop anangane education loans and a functionality by Git then shows you information about education loans. Education loans is not yet complete. Maybe if it is in modified state, you get that information. Then you start resuming your work on that education loans, complete it. Once done, again, git stash pop. Now personal loans gets out. Again, git gives you information about personal loans that the work is pending. You complete it. And again, when you say git stash pop, which is entered first, loans and one first stash is, but that gets out last. Right? Last in, first out, or first in, last out. Right? Gold loans are the first enter in the stash key, but it gets out towards the end. Right? So let's do an example of this stash concept. Yeah, online. Well, that is again what we can do is every stash is assigned with some ID, like something like this stash at the rate 0, right? Next stash at the rate something like 1. Next stash at the rate 2, something like this. Now, if you want to work on what's say the very first stash, you got to identify which number of stash is it, and you say git stash pop stash at 2. Git stash pop stash at the rate 2. Then what happens? That respective feature only gets out. By default, the default behavior is whatever enters last gets out first. But if you want to bring forth one of your the required stash, in that case, you go with git stash pop and that respected stash number. And friends, again saying stash anedi work chesedi only on files which are modified or at least added to staging area. Git stash can be mirror untracked files fine cheste, it won't work. Git stash won't work on untracked files. Okay, again typing here. Git stash won't work on untracked files. Now, same again, if we talk about git ignore, what is git ignore? Yeah, friends, git ignore works on untracked files. Git ignore doesn't work on files that are added to staging area or committed and modified. Okay, so stash key, git ignore key, there is a huge difference. Don't get confused. Right? So let's now jump in and do a stash example. Online candidates, are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So stash example, I'll create I'll open git bash here. Git bash here. Well, friends, so I'll create a file here. First, vim. Let's go with devops.txt. Devops.txt, add some data like prerequisites, Linux and shell, networking basics, right? Save and quit. Git init, git add dot git commit -m. Let's call this commit as first commit. Okay, I'm working on DevOps file and did a commit. Again, vim devops.txt, adding some more data. Let's add Maven, Nexus, SonarQube, Tomcat, escape :wq, and git commit -am. Let's call this commit as second commit. Again, I'm working vim. Oops, what happened? Oh, sorry, just a second. Is it visible? It's fine now, right? Okay. Vim devops.txt, and I'm still working here, adding some tools like Jenkins, and let's add Kubernetes. Okay, Docker, save and quit, escape :wq, save and quit. And now, if we say git status, shouldn't it file modified? Okay. At this very moment, I'm asked to work on another prioritized functionality. Okay. So what I do, I just say git stash. నేను వేరే వర్క్ పైన వేరే ఫంక్షనాలిటీ పైన వర్క్ చేయాలి. If I start doing, this file always gets displayed as modified. So I want to make my workspace pretty much clear. అంటే కొత్త వర్క్ ఏదైతే వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారో I want to focus only on that. This existing work should not bother me. So I'm just saying git stash. Now the pending ongoing work in progress, current work in progress of that, it gets hidden from the timeline. Meaning, if I say git status now, just have a look, friends. What is it saying? Already the ongoing work is preserved by stash. And now you're finding on branch master, nothing to commit, everything seems fine. Meaning, my friend, you're good to go with a new functionality. I'll start doing things like, let's say vim bigdata.txt or some big data. Okay, Hadoop, Spark, Scala, escape colon WQ, git add big data, git commit -m. Let's call this commit as first commit on BD. Again, vim bigdata.txt. Again, adding some more data. Hive, next scoop, flow.
సార్ ఒక డౌట్, మీరు ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఎంటర్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా సార్, తర్వాత ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? సేవ్ చేస్తున్నారా ఫైల్ ని?
Escape colon WQ, save it.
ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్పరా, వినిపించట్లేదు సార్, కట్ అవుతుంది వాయిస్.
Big data, vim big data. After that, I'm adding some data. I'm jumping to adding some data. Like let's say zookeeper. Okay, HBase. Once done with adding the data, I'm pressing escape key colon WQ, save and quit.
Okay.
Colon WQ, enter, and what happened? This file is saved. Now, if I say git status, a file is modified, right? Now, at this very moment, I'm assigned with a new task, and I want to keep this ongoing work in progress. So what I do, again, I say git stash. The first stash we did is DevOps. Now, on top of DevOps, this new stash is getting added, big data. Okay. Now, if you say after stashing, if you say git status, git says again, everything seems fine, you're good to go with. And at present, work in progress changes, we are hiding them to focus completely on the new functionality. Right. So now I'll start doing things like, let's say vim data science.txt and start working on new functionality. Data science, even the tools, any idea? Data science law, Tableau for visualizing the data, and exploratory data analysis. Python untundi, exploratory EDA with Python. Okay, save and quit for now. Just git R and Python very important. Git add data science.txt. Git commit -m. Let's call this commit as first commit on data science, right? DS. Okay. And now again vim data science.txt. Again, doing some more commits here. Like let's say Python lo marla numpy, pandas. Yeah. And what else? We got to learn
matplot.
Matplotlib, right? So there are different libraries we got to work in data science. So now git status, just observe this file is modified, data science. And again, I want to work on a new functionality. Just simply say git stash. Even if third work on top of big data, now this data science also got added. So anytime you want to get a list of all the stashes you did, git stash list, and we get a list of all the stashes we did so far. So stash @2 is nothing but the very first stash you did. DevOps. Stash at 1 is the second stash you did. Stash at 0 is the latest stash you did. And remember, when you say git stash pop, always a stash at 0 gets popped out. Okay, because every time the new stash is assigned with the ID stash at 0. So when you unstash, stash at 0 gets popped out. But if you want your respected stash to get out, and DevOps కావాలనుకోండి, you have to say git stash pop stash at the rate 2. But you want to get some dedicated stash out, then you got to say git stash pop stash at the rate 2. If not, by default, stash at 0 gets out. And one more thing, I did say that stash won't work on untracked files. So if I say vim big data analytics .txt, okay, and let me add some data here. Like again, we got Hadoop in big data analytics, Tableau ఉంటుంది, and what's a NoSQL databases like MongoDB, Scoop, Spark ఉంటుంది, Spark with Python, Scala programming language ఉంటుంది, right? So now I added some data. See friends, git status, this file is untracked. And if I want to work on a new functionality, stashing this one, if I say git stash, my friend, it's not possible to stash. Untracked files ni stash cheyadaniki ledhu. Stash works only on the files which are at least added to staging area or committed and modified. So if the untracked file, that is where what's happening here. No local changes to save. If I say git status again, you still find that big data analytics still available. Okay, so now what to do? At least add the file to staging area. Git add big data analytics.txt. If staging area catches some git status, the file is in staging area, right? Now I can stash, git stash, and now that work is hidden. And you're good to continue with a new work. Git status. Now you're good to get started off with the new work. Okay, so to unstash, git stash pop. So last either enter in the stack heap, we are getting it back. Right? LIFO, last in, first out. So this is the last stash which I did, and it came out first. Right? So now I'll complete my work. Let's say git commit -am or git commit -m, let's say new commit on DDA. I'm done. Our functionality complete IP. And now I want to work on the pending concepts. If you say git status, git says nothing to worry, but I know there are some stashes which we kept, in pending status. So git stash list chain, you find a pile of stashes available. Now, which one do you want to work on? Big data and data science or second commit? Second commit. Then what to do? Git stash pop stash at the rate. Me selected stash by the కావాలంటే you have to follow that respected number. If not, by default, the top one, the latest one gets unstashed. Okay. So now, see friends, now DevOps.txt got back to your workspace, and you're good to perform things like git add DevOps.txt. If you wish to add it to staging area and you want to commit it, let's say git commit -m new commit on DevOps.txt. Then now, if you again list out git stash list, you find only two stashes. One is data science and the other one is big data. Which one gets out first? If I say git stash pop, data science of right? So git stash pop, just say data science. Or if you want to collectively work on two stashes at the same time, again run git stash pop. Rendu okkasari teesukocheyandi bite. And now do a collective commit, like git commit -am, let's say new commit on big data and data science. Pending works and complete you can do that, not a problem. And everything is done. If you say git status, everything seems fine. And if you say git stash list, nothing to worry about. All your pending works are done. Right? Are we clear, friends, on this concept? Yes, no, maybe. Online candidates?
Yes, sir.
All we need is, we got to put some effort, practice. You practice chestene gaani meeku gurtundi. Ikkada nenu cheyadam anta baane untadandi because we are live and everything is happening as expected. Anukunnadi anukunnatuga jarigipothundi kabatti not a problem at all. Kaani meer chesetappudu you face challenges. That is where you have to spend some effort, spend some time, put some effort and get those addressed. Right? Yeah. So what else to discuss in Git? Any clear అయిపోయినట్టేనా మనం What else? Git push, git pull. And I'm talking about git tagging, not GitHub. Git tagging concept, right? Okay, I'll talk about that. Rearranging commit history. Did we do that? Later. Okay, fine. We'll see now. Git squash. Okay, I'll show you this example. See, friends, now let me remove Git functionality from here. మీరు ఇవాళే కదండి జాయిన్ అయితే ఆన్లైన్ శిరీష్ అన్న మీ పేరు. సో ఆల్రెడీ రెగ్యులర్ గా అటెండ్ అవుతున్నారా ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్? నిన్నటి నుండి స్టార్ట్. And online candidates, any new participants today? Okay. Fine, and నేను ఒకసారి మేనేజ్మెంట్ తో చెక్ చేస్తాను, లైక్ మీకు బ్యాకప్ క్లాసెస్ ఎప్పుడు ప్లాన్ చేయాలని చూసి ఐ టేక్ Linux classes. So friends, now let's rm space minus rf everything. Let's remove everything from this stash example. And yeah, this is just a normal folder, no data, nothing, right? Now what we do, let's say friends, I did some commits this way. Vim, or let's go with the touch command, and let's say git.txt, git init, git add dot, git commit minus m, let's say first commit on what's it, DevOps. Next vim, or let's say touch command, hadoop.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, first commit on big data. Likewise again, touch command ansible.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, second commit on big what's it, DevOps. Again, touch command spark.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, let's say second commit on what's say big data, right? Again, touch command kubernetes.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, let's call this commit as third commit on DevOps. Okay, and again, touch command scalar.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, let's call this commit as a third commit on big data, right? Again, touch command terraform.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, let's call this commit as a fourth commit on DevOps. And again, touch command hbase.txt, git add dot, git commit minus m, and fourth commit on big data. Yep, so total 4 commits. And if you see the commit history, git log dash dash one line, it's a zigzag road, right? One commit is of big data, second commit DevOps, third commit big data, again fourth commit DevOps. So it's like shuffled like in the commit history. Now I want to arrange my commit history. ఇది ఎట్లా ఉందంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఒక what's say men's bachelor room లా ఉంది. We want to keep it tidy as a girls room, everything in place, organized. Then what to do? Yeah, వాళ్ళు ఇలాగే తయారయ్యారా మధ్యన? Fine. So git log dash dash one line. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to arrange data accordingly, like DevOps commits on the side, big data commits on the opposite side, so that things would work, look better, right? So how do we do that? How do we rearrange the commit history? So for rearranging the commit history, friends, there is one rule, very important. What is that means? If the fourth commit on the other, you can place it anywhere. This fourth commit, you can shift it to any location, like over here or over here, here, until the second commit. The fourth commit means second commit lo bettachu, second commit in this way, fourth commit ikkada bettachu. You can arrange the content as you like, in whichever order you want to. except the first one. First one is called as the foundation commit, root commit, base commit, initial commit. But you are not supposed to touch the first commit. On top of the first commit, whatever you have, you can shuffle that order as you wish. Okay, so remember, except the base commit, you can rearrange the commit history, whichever order you want. Right, so now, how do I shuffle this commit history? Let's find out. So we got a command git rebase -I head a tilde sign starting from this head pointer. How many commits you want to shuffle? Count the number of commits. So this is 1, 2, 3. If you want to only shuffle those 3, go ahead, head tilde 3. If you still want to shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possible, but 8 not possible. 8 matram accept cheyadandi. 7 work okay. So even if you try to do 8, immediately we get an error, invalid upstream. Okay, so base commit should remain untouched. Okay, on top of that, you can do whatever you want. So let's shuffle the commit history till 7. Head tilde 7. Enter, and now a file gets opened this way. A file manki itla open ayindi kada. So over here, just a second. Yeah, over here, base commit ఏంటండి మనం చేసిన first commit ఏంటి DevOps, first commit on DevOps. Followed by that, this is the second commit on big data. Next, second commit on DevOps. Again, second commit on big data. Third commit on DevOps, third commit on big data. Fourth commit on DevOps and fourth commit on big data. Meaning is first commit on big data ki paina, we got first commit on DevOps. All right, so now what I do is I'll cut this line. The second commit on DevOps and then cut just press D key twice, DD. That line is cut. A line cut. Now what I do is I'll paste that line up above big data. I'm adding the line above big data. And on top of the second commit on DevOps, prior you have a very first commit, which is first commit on DevOps. Initial commit and DevOps kada. Then the followed commit ages and second commit on DevOps actions. Likewise, now I bring forth this third commit too. Third commit on DevOps line cut just D key twice. And I go up to the second line and just press letter P. Third commit on DevOps kuda ikkada add ayindi second commit kada. Likewise, now I get down and fourth commit on DevOps fourth line kuda em chestadu. I'll cut it from here, D twice, and jump to the third line here and press letter P so that the fourth line gets added here. So ఇప్పుడు మీ commit history ఎట్లా ఉందంటే initial commit, first commit on DevOps అది కనిపించట్లేదు మనకి. Followed by that second commit on DevOps, third commit on DevOps, fourth commit on DevOps. And down below we have first commit on big data, second on big data, third and fourth on big data. Now if we save and quit the document, we just save and quit this document. And now if we say git log -- one line, it put chudandi commit history anta kuda it's arranged in a proper manner. Intaku mundu anta shuffled ga undi kada. First commit on DevOps, first commit on big data, second commit on DevOps, second commit on big data, this way. Not so arranged. But now if you observe the commit history here, everything is arranged properly. First commit on DevOps, second commit on DevOps, third on DevOps, fourth on DevOps. Likewise, first commit on big data, second on big data, third and fourth on big data. So you arranged your commit history properly in a sequential manner, right? So this is a concept of rearranging the commit history, right? So remember the rule of thumb here: your initial commit should remain untouched. Base commit matram assalu మీరు మూవ్ చేయాలని అవ్వదండి. We're getting an error, right? Invalid upstream. Now I want to merge all these commits. Is it possible? మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నట్టు ఇదివరకు merging the commit history, shortening the commit history. How is it possible? How to shorten the commit history? Yeah, friends, online candidates, anyone? Merging the commit history. సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అండి. మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే you can merge all these commits 1 2 3 4 5 6 into second commit. ఈ కమిట్స్ అన్నిటిని మర్జ్ చేసుకుంటూ సెకండ్ కమిట్ లో కలపచ్చు. బట్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్ టు మర్జ్ ఆల్ దీస్ కమిట్స్ ఇన్ టు ద ఫస్ట్ వన్. సేమ్ కాన్సెప్ట్. బట్ హౌ వి రైట్ థింగ్స్ మీన్స్ git rebase minus I head tilde sign. Again, choose the number 1 2 3. If you want to merge only these three, go ahead with number 3. If you want to merge 4, just say number 4 here. I want to merge 1 2 3 4 5 6 into 7. So I'll go with head tilde 7. Head tilde 7 అని చెప్పి ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే we have to remove the keyword pick. Pick అనే కీవర్డ్ ఉంది కదా, అది రిమూవ్ చేసి we add a squash. Again, remove pick keyword from here and say squash. Remove pick keyword from here and say squash. So now if you save the document here, the number of commits you find are first commit on DevOps, second commit on DevOps, third commit on DevOps, fourth commit on DevOps, and first commit on big data, which is a combination of these four. ఈ 4 commits కూడా ఈ commit లోకి merge అయిపోతుంది. If you want to furthermore shorten your commit history, remove pick keyword from here and say squash. Remove pick keyword from here and say squash. Right? Remove pick keyword from here and say squash. Now what happens if you save the document and go with git log -- one line, you find only 2 commits. One is first commit on DevOps, and the second one is second commit on DevOps, which is a combination of a merge of all these commits. Okay, ఈ commits అన్ని merge అయిపోతాయి అన్నమాట second commit, right? But it is not possible for you to squash this second commit. మీరు కనుక ఇక్కడ squash టైప్ చేశారనుకోండి, you are trying to squash second 2 into the first commit, which is not possible అందుకే మీకు రెడ్ కలర్ లో పిక్ టర్న్ అయిపోతుంది. So it's a mistake, it's a blunder. So let's leave it as is. Pick keyword అట్లనే ఉంచేద్దాం as pick. Yep. Now I'll save and quit the document. escape:\w. Now Git asks you for further more explanation. ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నావు? Why you are merging all the commits? If you want to give some message here, you can add your own documentation. Why you are merging all these commits? Let's say all of them are of the same functionality. I don't want them to be maintained in multiple commits. అప్పుడు మీరు ఇక్కడ మెసేజ్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. All commits are of same functionality, something like that. But for now, I'm leaving the default messages and say save and quit. escape:\w. That's it. Now if I go with git log -- one line, we got only 2 commits. Earlier there were around 8 commits, but now see, earlier there were around these many commits. But now I merged all my commits I shortened my commit history to this level. Only 2 commits more. Where the second commit is nothing but it's a combination of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Right? Yeah. So squashing commit history. Git status ఇక్కడ తెలుస్తుంది కదండి. Commit sorry git log -- one line వెళ్తే అట్లా అంటారా? ఓకే, అప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చేయొచ్చంటే ఈ కమిట్ ఐడి ఉంది కదా, కమిట్ ఐడి, ఈ కమిట్ ఐడిని మీరు అంతకుముందు సెకండ్ కమిట్ తో కంపేర్ చేసుకుంటే ఆ సెకండ్ కమిట్ ఐడికి ఈ సెకండ్ కమిట్ ఐడికి చాలా డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంది. సో ఇఫ్ యు గో విత్ గిట్ లెట్స్ సే reflog, like reflog ఉన్నాడు కదా, who preserves everything. So over here see friends, the second commit which we did, ఇక్కడ చూడండి second commit ఐడి ఏముంది ఇక్కడ, DE63B491. That was the commit only for second commit at that point of time. మీరు స్క్వాష్ చేసాక ఈ సెకండ్ కమిట్ ఐడి చూడండి 7C336,789. ఏమైంది? ఇట్స్ అ కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ మల్టిపుల్ మర్జెస్. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీకు ఆల్రెడీ గిట్ రెఫ్లాగ్ కూడా ఇస్తుంది క్లియర్ ఇండికేషన్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అ కాంబినేషన్ విచ్ ఇస్ this commit ID is a combination of multiple commits. అట్లానే అర్థమవుతుంది, right? Yeah. So now friends, this is an example. Now let's say ఏదో కష్టపడి మొత్తం మీద కమిట్ హిస్టరీ ఫిల్మ్ చేసినప్పుడు I'm not sure it's meaning data మొత్తం ఉంటుంది. కనిపిస్తుంది డేటా మొత్తం ఉంటుంది. Yeah, we find all the data available. Now let's say somehow I put a lot of effort and shortened the commit history, and now I did some change, and what's happening, git is expecting a new commit. అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు, మరలా కొత్త కమిట్ చేయకుండా how can we add the new change to the existing commit? ఇది మాట్లాడుకున్నాం అండి, git amend కాన్సెప్ట్. git amend నిజంగానే మాట్లాడుకోలేదా లేదా మీకు గుర్తు రావట్లేదా? ఓకే, సో ఓకే ఫైన్. సో వాట్ ఐ డూ హియర్ ఇస్ git log dash dash one line, మనకి 2 commits and lot of commits, but I shortened, squash it. Now I'll do a very slight change. Let's say vim kubernetes.txt look really. I'll just add a simple dot, just of the character and thing. A very slight change. And now if I say git status kubernetes modify ayindi, preserve this with a new commit and cheppu manaki git konni messages instructions istundi. But my requirement is I don't want to preserve this change with a new commit. Instead, I want to push even this new change to this existing commit. Already commit history shortened chesaru, and I forgot a slight thing to change. When I did change, again it's asking me to do a new commit. But I'm not at all interested to do a new commit. Instead, preserve this change again to the same commit. But in we got a concept called git amend. So first add the file to staging area. Git add kubernetes.txt. Add the file to staging area, and here you say git commit dash dash amend. Git commit dash dash amend minus m, some message, a second commit message ichedam. Second commit on DevOps. Now what happens is this new change gets added to this second commit only. So chudandi ipudu. Now if I go with git log dash dash one line, you find only 2 commits. If you say git status, git says nothing to worry about. But what happened? The change which you did, that change is also added to this what's it commit only. Either the latest second commit undo, aa commit loke new change kuda push ayindi. But actually technically ga ikkada maatladite what happened is git creates a new commit. The third commit ni create chestadi. Third commit creates it. It merges that commit with this second one. Technically, that is what happens. So meeku ardham kavalante ikkada chudandi, git add, and when I say git commit 985 something commit id ochindi kada. Now that commit id is merged into the earlier commit. That is where we got this second commit here. Okay, so this is amend, shortening your commit history, right? And enduku cheyalandi shortening commit history? What did I explain last time? Why should we keep our commit history very limited? Yeah, friends, why should we keep our commit history very limited? Why not should we maintain multiple commits? Automation, and we do automation, and what happens whenever a developer updates his code to GitHub. Developer అనేవాడు code upload చేసేది. Let's say some commit 1. మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే we as DevOps engineers, we enable automation, meaning that code should be downloaded. A source code download అయిపోతుంది. That code should be compiled, created as an artifact, a software package in the code. And that package should get deployed to QA environment. Testing environment will go. Some automated test cases should run there. If there are challenges identified, route back to the development team, ask them to rework on their source code. So ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంతా కూడా మీరు ఆటోమేషన్ ఎనేబుల్ చేసి పెట్టేస్తారు. సో ఇప్పుడు డెవలపర్ అనేవాడు just saying if at all he pushed one commit, immediately this process starts. And again, within no time, he pushed another commit. Again, this process began. Again, he did some more commit. And again, the process is continuing. And a developer అనేవాడు చేసే ప్రతి change కి automation is starting. So unnecessary commits when he's doing what's happening, the entire system is getting impacted. Right? So that is where we should never make or we should never entertain multiple commits in a project unless the project is finalized. అంటే వర్షనింగ్ అనేది అంత ఇంపార్టెంట్. మీరు GitHub వెబ్బుక్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎనేబుల్ చేసినప్పుడు వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్, ద ప్రాసెస్ కీప్స్ ఆన్ హిట్టింగ్, అది అలా కంటిన్యూ అయిపోతూనే ఉంటుంది, రైట్? సో దట్ ఈస్ వేర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు మేక్ ష్యూర్ దట్ ద కమిట్స్ ఆర్ వాట్స్ ఏ వెరీ లిమిటెడ్. అన్నెసెసరీ కమిట్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో ఏం చేస్తాం అంటే we try to find and we try to squash them, shorten them. Commit అనేది ఎప్పుడు కూడా it should happen only on some noteworthy data, not on every minute change. ఒక noteworthy changes పైన మాత్రమే commit అనేది జరగాలి, right? Yeah. So what else to discuss? What are we still left with? Merge conflict. ఇది కాన్సెప్ట్ అండి, we forgot to discuss. Merge conflict. What is merge conflict? Okay, I'll give you an example. Just have a look, and you tell me. You be the judge, and you tell me what is going to happen when I do a merge. Okay, it's an interesting concept, and if possible, you get the solution like what you did yesterday. Reflog elagaithe మీరు identify చేశారో, likewise, I want you to get a solution for this. Okay, so I'll show you a problem statement and you have to get the solution, right? So over here, there is a master branch, and I created a file, devops.txt. Yeah, friends, devops.txt and a file create chesaru. I did a commit C1 when, after adding some line of data, git and GitHub. Git and GitHub only ఈ ఒక్క లైన్ మాత్రమే యాడ్ చేసి నేను ఒక ఫైల్ devops.txt లో I did a commit C1. Next, what did I do? Again, I created a commit C2. At this C2 level, what did I do? I added one more line of data. అంటే same file devops.txt లో git and GitHub ఉంది. And now I added a second line, which is let's say Jenkins. Right now, what did I do again? I created a branch. I created a new branch. Now, as you know, a branch inherits all the prior commits of its parent. The test branch. Okay. The test branch lo kuda nenu em chestunna ante devops.txt file is visible, right, on a test branch. C1, C2 commits are also visible. So now I created a C3 commit here. Writing pad తెచ్చుకోలేదండి, things were super fast. C3, and here when I did C3, the status of my file was git and GitHub, Jenkins, Docker edges, Docker and align edges, C3 commit చేశాను. Next, I did one more commit, C4. Okay, C4. At that time, my file status was git and GitHub, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Yep. Now coming to my master, if I read the file devops.txt, what is the status of my file? What is the latest commit on the master? C2, git and GitHub, Jenkins. Now what I do is I'll do a C3 commit here. Let's say C5 commit chest, some new commit, where the status of my file here is git and GitHub, Jenkins, and ఇక్కడ నేను థర్డ్ లైన్ లో యాడ్ చేస్తున్న టూల్ వచ్చేసి Prometheus, right? And again, I did a C6 commit here. I'm doing something called a C6 commit. Is C6 commit ఎప్పుడు చేస్తున్నా అంటే the file was with this data, git and GitHub, Jenkins, Prometheus, and Grafana. Okay, so the same DevOps file modified at test level and modified at master level. But to some extent, both the files hold the same data to some extent, but not everywhere. Line 1, line 2, common across your test branch and your master branch. But line 3 and line 4 on a test branch are different and on a master branch are different. Now, if I do a merge, if I try to merge the data of test branch onto the master, what happens is you fall into a problem called merge conflict. You got problem which is, what is that? That is termed as a merge conflict. Why do we get a merge conflict? So why we get a merge conflict means over here, master branch we got Git, Jenkins, right? Next Prometheus, Grafana. And coming to test branch, what's happening? Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Now, when you try to merge the data, first two lines are same, not a problem. Two lines of master and test are same. Second line. Coming to the third line on the master is Prometheus, third line on the branch is Docker. Fourth line on the master is Grafana, and the fourth line on branch is Kubernetes. So in 3-4 lines here, 3-4 on the master collides with the 3-4 on the test. So Git is super confusing here. Boss, which data should I prioritize? Should I keep Docker and Kubernetes in line numbers 3 and 4? Or should I keep Prometheus and Grafana in line numbers 3 and 4? I am unable to decide, so you decide. Git engineering throws us into a problem saying, these are the conflicts I'm facing. I'm not able to identify which data, whether the branch data to prioritize in line number 3 and 4, or the master data to prioritize. I'm super confused, so you go ahead and you do things on your own. So E problem one way or not, merge conflict, right? So the data at the branch is different, and the data at a test branch is different. When Git tries to do a merge, see friends, first two lines of data is the same. Third and fourth on a master is Prometheus Grafana. Third and fourth on test branches, Docker Kubernetes. So we got to jump in and address this solution. Yeah. So me rela solution identify chestaru, you decide and let me know tomorrow. Right. So by tomorrow we'll get our Git discussions to an end. We'll dive into GitHub concepts. Okay. GitHub. How to push the data to GitHub. ఎంతమంది షెల్ స్క్రిప్ట్స్ రాశారండి? ఉన్నాయా స్క్రిప్ట్స్ రాసి పెట్టుకున్నారా లేదా? నేను పంపించింది కాదండి, మీరు రాయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఏమైనా రాస్తారా? లైక్ ఎక్స్ప్లోర్, ఎందుకంటే మీరు రాసిన స్క్రిప్ట్స్ మీరు GitHub లోకి అప్లోడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ యువర్ డేటా, I'll show you how to push your data to GitHub. Okay. So creating a portfolio is important, friends. Like DevOps journey. At least మీరు రాయలేకపోతే ఒక పని చేయండి. వెరీ సింపుల్ షార్ట్ కట్ మీకు ఏంటంటే చాట్ జీపీటీ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారా ఎవరైనా? చాట్ జీపీటీ, వాట్ ఇస్ ఇట్ ఫ్రెండ్స్? జస్ట్ ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళి షెల్ స్క్రిప్ట్ ఫర్ వాట్స్ అథమెటిక్ ఆపరేషన్స్ అనండి, మొత్తం షెల్ స్క్రిప్ట్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. అది యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేసుకోండి, అది పుష్ చేసేయండి సార్. రైట్. సో ఏదో స్మార్ట్ వర్క్ మరి, ఏదో చేయాలి కదా, చూపించాలి కదా మరి మనం ఇంటర్వ్యూయర్స్ కి. రైట్. సో వేర్ ఇస్ ఇట్? ఐ థింక్ OpenAI somewhere here. I got to log in, friends. API. Get started. Yeah. I think I have an account already, but yeah, continue with Google, right? So things got pretty much simplified with this E2 either. Is no longer valid. Okay, return to home page and again login. What happened? It works slow, no? So ఇది ఒక ట్రై చేయండి మీరు లాగిన్ అయిన తర్వాత the way how we do Google searches, just type a message, simple shell script example on arithmetic operations అనగానే మొత్తం మీకు ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది entire shell script simple program for Kubernetes deployment మొత్తం Kubernetes deployment example మీకు as it is what's it AI generated script వచ్చేస్తుంది. So that way you can integrate మీకు కావాల్సినట్టు మీరు whatever you type you get a response immediately. Okay, so let me try to get the DevOps at gmail.com. Two four one eight hash. Great. Great. 2418. Forgot password. No friends, it's taking time. మీరు ఒకసారి ట్రై చేయండి మీరు
Sir, once give your personal ID.
my personal ID
Yeah.
of my GitHub account or you're asking for
Personal mail ID, sir.
చూసారు కదండి nocturnaldevops@gmail.com. That's my mail ID. See, this is my mail ID. Sorry, this is my repository, Nocturnal DevOps. If you do a quick search, you find a lot of things about the repositories over here, code, everything. Okay. Anyways, down the line, మనం ఇంకా చాలా ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేయాల్సి ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి I'll definitely give you my details. Okay, so just .github.com. If we go to this site, over here, whatever the setup we got to do for projects, everything here, I documented everything. Even in the future, I'll share with you. అలాగే మీకు గిట్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నవన్నీ ఐమ్ జస్ట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయినింగ్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్. కానీ మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయడానికి మీకు ఒక ప్రాపర్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఇవ్వాలి. సో ఐ డెఫినెట్లీ షేర్ థింగ్స్ విత్ యూ. సో sometimes you got to go through recorded classes. అంటే ఇప్పుడు YAML స్క్రిప్టింగ్ ఉందనుకోండి, ఆ YAML గురించి మరలా నేను ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడి మరలా మనం రెగ్యులర్ క్లాసెస్ లో అదర్ టాపిక్స్ మాట్లాడుకునే బదులు some concepts you have to prepare before you appear for next classes. అలాంటప్పుడు నాకు యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ కొన్ని వీడియోస్ ఉన్నాయి. I'll share them with you. Okay, down the line I have to check with your management first and provide you access to. Okay, but see, Kubernetes cluster form చేయాలంటే we got a lot of things to do. Okay, these are some commands, but let's say GitHub, just like let's say I want to set up a Ansible cluster formation ki ivanni commands. You got to follow all this documentation and set up a complete Ansible cluster. So it's a public repository. I'll share this link with you when we discuss that. Okay, so that way we have a lot of things to get going with, right? Ansible cluster, Kubernetes cluster, Jenkins CI/CD architecture, atlane manaki microservices architectures, Jenkins CI/CD project stating కోసం కొన్ని repositories. I have to share all these with you. Okay, so no worries. We'll going forward, we'll share everything with you, right? Yeah. So friends, that's all for today, and I'll see you in the next class. So any questions before we wrap up for today? Online candidates, any questions? ఇవాళ సెషన్ రికార్డ్ అయిందో లేదో కూడా తెలియదండి, బికాస్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ద హోస్ట్. సో ఫైన్. Fine, friends. Okay. Thank you, Robin. Confirming. Well, friends. So let's call it a day and continue again the next time. Right? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.